Dog owners, unite! Are you ready to get to know your dog better? Welcome to America's Dog Whisperers with Mark German and Janice Wolf. This program will help make your good dog great and your great dog fabulous. Now, here's Mark and Janice.
Happy Easter, everyone. I'm Mark German, America's Dog Whisperer.
And I'm Janice Wolf, the Lady Dog Whisperer.
Hey.
Happy Easter to everyone, and Passover, and whatever else it is.
So, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to talk dog. If you have friends, neighbors, relatives with dogs with issues, we're here to help you through that in the next several weeks. All you got to do is sign on, get to the microphone, ask your questions, but we're going to discuss some things prior to that. We're going to talk about the 4 essentials to a stable dog. Some of you that's been with us have gotten our book. You know what we're talking about. Those other ones, we're just trying to teach people a different way to think about your dog and to meet your dog's needs, therefore to make him stable. If you have a good dog, that's great, but we're looking for the people who don't have such great dogs. All dogs need 4 things. We talk about that in our book, the 4 essentials to a stable dog. That's leadership, walks, rules, and good nutrition. So leadership, walks, rules, and good nutrition, if you do that for your dog will become stable because you're providing the needs of a dog as a dog. We think of our dogs as our children and our pals, but in reality they're just a dog and they need certain things. If you love them, you will do these 4 things. Leadership that we talk about is, in the canine world, you're either a leader or a follower. And people know that, the alpha term and the pack leader term, and leader follower basically is what you've got to remember. If you're not it, your dog is it. So it's important for you to become the leader to your dog. It's just that you don't know how. And that's where the walks and the rules come in. We'll talk about walks and rules as we go through here. But if you just change those 2 things by listening to us through the weeks, you're going to see a different dog almost immediately.
Okay, so again, happy Easter to all, and a lot of you guys are actually grieving today because you have your dogs locked away because you have your guests over and you can't share your holiday with your dog, and you guys know who we mean. There are people who are so concerned about having how their dog is, and that, the dog may jump on company, or the dog may, steal food, so we lock our dogs away. Mark and I get this a lot, and I'm glad most people don't have to, but there are people out there who know what I'm talking about. Now, the problem is that when you have guests over and we lock our dog away because he's out of control, like the young lady and gentleman that I was at yesterday and Mark and I were working with, some of these people have their dogs that, they're good dogs, but they're out of control, they jump on guests, so that people wind up not having the dogs out at all the family gatherings. Here's something that you guys need to try and remember also. Once you have a dog with an issue, whatever it is, whether the dog jumps and knocks, Aunt Hilda down the stairs, or the dog nips at someone, or the dog is stealing food off your plate, or begging, whatever, rather than locking the dog away, or keeping the dog tied somewhere, or putting him outside, when you have guests, remember, you always need to teach. We're always teaching our dogs. We're not training our dogs. We're teaching them. That's all. So in those moments when you have guests over and your dog jumps on them, you're going to poke them in the neck, not your guests. Well, you can poke your guests in the neck too. But you're going to poke your dog in the neck if he jumps. Give him a poke. And you're teaching him not to jump. If your dog is begging or bothering someone, okay? And then look away. Teach your dog so that he too can share your holidays with you. The worst thing in the world is having the best dog in the world and only you know he's the best dog in the world.
So, we talk about the walk, how, we're always stressing the importance of the dog walk, not dog exercise. And people, initially they don't understand the different concept between trying to out-exercise your dog and just walking your dog. There's a certain reason we say in our book about why we walk dogs. We're not going to out-exercise our dogs. And that's what we try to do, but, let's be honest, nobody has that kind of time. We all work for a living, we're busy with other things, but the dog needs a walk. We just think of a walk as exercise and 45 minutes out of our day, and you don't need to do that. Just by walking your dog a little bit, down the street and back, across the street and back, is better than no walk. And we talk about the walking for exercise, or exercising your dog creates too much excitement. So by walking your dog, that goes back to the canine species, that they are a roaming species. They roam to find food. They eat and then they roam to find food. So by walking our dogs, that's fulfilling the need of them to roam. That's an instinct in canines. So if we walk our dogs properly and for the right reason, you're going to see a more stable dog, a more calm dog. So the walk is very important. We talk about in the book, walk, rest, feed. So you walk your dog, you come home, you let him rest, and then you feed him. And that's the order it should be, and that should be twice a day for those dogs over 8 months. So, a lot of people feed their dogs and then walk them to allow them to poop in somebody else's yard, but that's just not how dogs really do it. If you're trying to rehabilitate a dog out of its behavioral issues, whether it's aggression or fear or just out of control, you've got to start walking your dog properly.
Okay, so today we're going to discuss any behavioral issues that you folks have with your dogs. And if anyone wants to ask us specific questions and put your dog on your lap, I think that'd be pretty cool to have other people showing us their dogs, or however you've dressed them up for Easter, if they have Easter bunny ears or whatever. The great thing, once you make your dogs stable and your dogs are a part of your family and are good and well behaved, guess what? You can put bunny ears on them. I just got a very cute email this morning from one of our puppy people, a Ridgeback puppy, with bunny ears in the middle of a grouping of stuffed animals. Well, guess what? When you have a good dog who's stable, you can do all the fun stuff that we all get to do. But there are a lot of people out there who have dogs who are great dogs, but they have these issues ranging from biting all the way down to just jumping on people. So our goal, Mark's and mine, is to go around the country not just helping people like you with your dogs, but also training other people to whisper. This weekend we spoke with not only the young lady Nicole in Australia, who will be training in this fall, but we have a gentleman who I believe is going to be training in New Zealand to be a whisperer there. And I had quite a long conversation with him. He's got a few dogs, and one of the dogs is basically attacking his other dogs. And the problem is that because in New Zealand there are few behaviorists, quote-unquote behaviorists that they have, actually are telling him, put the dog to sleep, there's nothing you can do. Well, here's the problem with that. They're telling you to put your dog to sleep. You love the dog. If you had, God forbid, a child with special needs or an elderly parent, you don't put them to sleep. But dogs have become pretty disposable in this world. And what we want to do is